What's going on, guys? Coach Joe, not at the Lion's Den. We are at Hellfish MMA. Tim Carpenter, video 2. If you haven't checked out the first video where I'm training him, make sure you check that out, make more sense. But we're in his flow dojo, so we're gonna have him kind of just give us a little tour and see what we got in the gym. What do we got going on here?
All right. This is the front desk where you sign your life away.
Oh,
Pretty simple. We got bags to hit, mats to roll around on, chairs for people to watch.
no shoes on the mat. No shoes on the mat.
That's one of the few rules here is no shoes on the mat.
I saw one guy do it once and we haven't seen him ever since.
Then back here we just have more mat space. Most important thing with a martial arts school is mat space. You want to be able to accommodate ideally 2 classes at once, so I could have like a Jiu Jitsu class going on here and a Muay Thai class going on over there. That way we can keep the flow going. And this stuff is just like a little strength and conditioning area. You got some dumbbells, squat rack, whatever this is called, dips and abs and stuff. And one of these cable machines with no cables on it yet. And a burst hyper and a ski erg. So these are mostly for me. Me and a couple other guys use them, but we don't do too much like strength and conditioning here. This is mostly just so I can work out on my own.
So for the gym, like biggest probably like investment was probably mats, you would say?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So the good mats are always going to cost you money, but they'll also last you a long time. So I've had these mats since we opened up.
Oh, nice.
And they take a lot of abuse, and they're still going strong. So
How much square footage is this space?
whole place is 3,800 square feet, I believe, and then I think we have 1,500, 2,000 square feet of mat space. Most of our classes are at night between like 5 and 9.
You don't need a ton.
You don't need much. You need quality instruction, good training partners, and mats. You don't need really any fancy equipment. Martial arts it's like humans fighting humans.
Yeah.
So you don't need too much equipment. You got a couple of punching bags and pads and gloves. That's about it.
What would you say is like a dumb investment you think people make when they buy stuff for their gym?
The biggest mistake I see people make is trying to start big right off the bat.
Okay.
Trying to like, so even this place, I didn't have this for a couple years. It started off very small, and a lot of the most successful people I know, they start off renting space in an existing gym and just using a little bit of mat space there, and then they grow out from there. Trying to start like too big too soon is the biggest mistake people make, and then just trying to be fancy. Like I said, it's simple. When people want to learn, they want to learn quality techniques and good instruction. They don't need bells and whistles, really.
Gotcha. And then what's a Hellfish?
Hellfish, stole it from The Simpsons.
Okay. All right.
This in the Second World War II.
It was from a Simpsons episode. That's where I got the logo from. I just like the logo.
Right.
There's a weird story behind it. Wouldn't make sense if I told you.
Okay.
I just always liked the logo, and
Yeah, I was just always curious. I don't know.
we changed it a little bit. We took the cigar out of his mouth.
That's maybe why it's familiar, because there is, now I think I know what you're talking about.
Took the cigar out of his mouth and put a black belt on him, and we changed his color from red to white.
Okay. Yeah, all right, there you go. There's the secret behind Hellfish. So pretty much what we're gonna do now is I actually have my first competition on Saturday. So he's gonna walk me through the basics of Jiu Jitsu. Then we're gonna kind of go over like my technique that we wanna implement for the competition coming up, like takedowns, passing guard, and then a basic submission. So you guys are kind of go through the process with me, and then hopefully it's a good video and you see me execute some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about. So we are going to dive into that next. All right, Coach Sam, run us through the basics of Jiu Jitsu, what it is, how it works, all that kind of stuff.
All right, so Jiu Jitsu is a grappling martial art, so it's like wrestling. Right? But instead of trying to pin the guy on his back to win or score takedowns, the goal is to make the person give up. So you either choke them, arm lock them, hyperextend their elbow, twist their shoulder, or attack their legs. So it's both self-defense and sport. So the sport of jiu-jitsu is designed to sort of reward what would get you a win out in a street fight. Okay. So it's pretty simple. We'll break down the point system and the rules, what you can and can't do.
So I can't like elbow people in the face?
Not yet.
Not yet?
You can elbow if you're in an MMA fight.
What about like, can you do this in Jiu-Jitsu? With 2 hands, like you're strangling somebody? Like I used to do my brother.
So you can't like choke them like that, but you can use that to like keep them off. Like if you were trying to come into me, I can put my hands there, but you're not allowed to squeeze. So
Can you do that?
you can, and this is what I tell people the first time they compete. You can do pretty much anything as long as the ref doesn't see it.
Ah, okay.
It's up to the ref. If you get called on it, you might get disqualified.
Are there dirty moves that happen?
There are dirty moves. We'll go over some of the things that you are definitely not allowed to do.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna break down the points, all that kind of stuff next. So let's do it.
All right. So first, we're going to go over. We're going to start from the feet and go down to the ground. The basic process of a jiu-jitsu match, like I said, it'd be the same way if you were to get in a fight out in the street. Okay. So all fights and all jiu-jitsu matches start on the feet. All right. So we're never going to stand just like this, right? Like just straight up.
Yep.
Like any other sport, you want to be in an athletic stance. So basically, we'll start a little bit lower. All right. So whatever foot you have forward, keep that lead hand down. Okay. And that's like your primary defensive hand, and keep your right hand just up a little bit. So you basically want a little bit of stagger like this. So the idea here is your lead leg would be the most likely thing that I would attack. So if I were to try to grab it, you already have that hand there, just stuff it under my arm, and now there's no way I'll be able to actually get to your leg. Okay?
Gotcha.
So it's a simple way to think when you start off. Whatever foot you have forward, that hand's down lower. Your other hand, you can use that to attack and push. So if I go to grab that lead leg, just take this hand. You don't even need to move it.
All right.
So a takedown will score you 2 points. All right. So now you're gonna let me get to your leg. So I come in, I pull the leg up. I'm just gonna drag him to the mat. So I'm just gonna bring you down. That's 2 points. Okay. So you get a takedown. Now, if your butt hits the floor and you pop right back up to your feet, it's nothing. I would get an advantage.
Okay.
Okay, I need to take you down and maintain top position for about 3 seconds, and you'll get 2 points.
Gotcha.
So now this position, anytime you're engaged in your partner's legs, your opponent's legs, whether it's like an open guard like this, he's got his feet on your hips, you might have your legs wrapped up. You might end up in the full guard like this. You take him down with a double leg, you end up like trapped in his closed guard. All right. This position for him gives him a lot of attacks. My goal is to get out of his legs to a pin, either on the side or the mount, okay? So a simple way to do that is I'm gonna push the leg down, my arms go under, grab the shoulder, and stack them up. I got to side mount. This is what's known as side mount here. Getting past the legs to a position of control is worth 3 points, okay? So I took him down past his guard, it's 5 points, all right? Next position you would go to. All right, so now your legs are out of play. You can't attack me with your legs. Now I'll go to the mount. I slide my knee over to the mount. 4 points, okay? You hold this position for 4 points, or for 3 seconds, you get 4 points. All right, now let's just do a simple, he's gonna bump and roll over to his stomach, try to escape. All right, he pops up to his knees. When he pops up, I put my hooks in, so we call this hooks. Put my legs in. I'm gonna roll you to the side here. So now I have control of his back. This is another 4 points. This is the most advantageous position you can be in a fight, okay? He has really nothing he can do to me, and I can do basically whatever I want to him, okay? So the next step from here, the most basic submission in jiu-jitsu would be the rear naked choke. I'm gonna bring my arm around the neck, grab the trap, pull my hand out, go behind, and squeeze for the finish, okay? So that would be the end of the match. So we'll go through it one more time. So we start on the feet. Reach your arms up. I'm just gonna pop his arms up. Double leg and ground. 2 points. All right, now push the leg down. I pass the guard to the side mount. 3 points. So I'm up 5-0. Slide to the mount, 4 points. I'm not too good at math, what is that?
I'm lost.
5 plus 4.
I just
9 points. 9 points. I'm up by 9-0. He rolls over to his stomach. All right, he pops up. I put my hooks in. Another 4 points. We roll to the side. So now I'm up 13-0. Arm goes around the neck. Lock up the submission, squeeze and finish. Match is over. All right. So that would be the most basic sort of ideal situation that would happen in a match. You get a takedown, pass the guard, mount, take the back, submit. So there's a couple more positions I want to go over. a couple more ways to score points. So we went from the ideal, right? So now let's say you took me down, you end up in my close guard. All right, so you just scored 2 points on me, so now I'm behind, right? So what I want to do is reverse the position. So what I'll do is I'll clear your hands to the mat. I'm going to sit up, I get up to my elbow here, and then get up to my hand. Now I'm going to grab his arm, I'm going to bump and roll him over. So in jiu-jitsu, we call that a sweep, going from your guard, using your legs and reversing the position. That's 2 points, okay? But I also ended up in the mount, which is another 4 points. That was a 6-point move. You scored 2 for your takedown, and I scored 6 for a sweep and a mount, okay? And then it's the same. So if you were to bridge me over, if you were to trap my arm, I want to go this way. He traps my arm, and he bumps and rolls me this way. That's just an escape. There's no points for that, okay? So there's another way to score points is sweeping. Right. If at any point I were able to lock up a submission, you get this one. If I come here, I turn, trap the shoulder, and go into an arm bar and make you tap, at any point, match is over. Okay. There will also be times where, let's say I throw the arm bar on, I have it locked really tight, but somehow you're able to yank your arm out. All right, we get back to neutral. I would get an advantage for almost getting the arm bar. So if there's a tie score or no score, and I have an advantage for almost submitting you, I would win the match.
And I get no points for equivalent arm.
No points for escapes.
Okay.
But let's say you throw my legs past, you get tight to side mount for 2 seconds, but then I'm able to get back to my guard. You would get an advantage for almost passing my guard. Okay? So you can get advantages for almost completing successful attacks. Like if we're on the feet and you're attacking me the whole time, you almost get me down, or you take me down, but I pop back up, you would get advantages for that. So in the event of a tie score or no points scored, they go to advantages.
When do I learn how to sit like that, though?
You can't do that yet?
Oh, is that it?
That's not bad. Yeah, I'm not too.
My feet are going numb.
Yeah. You got to get less muscle mass on your legs. That's the secret. That's, I think, the basics of the point system that you want to know.
Okay.
And now I guess maybe we should go over some things that you can't do.
Yes.
So one of the main things that people get disqualified for is called slamming, okay, to get out of a submission. So if I get you in a triangle, this is one of the most common things you'll see. You'll see somebody get caught in what's called a triangle choke like this, and then the person on top is going to stand up and pick them up off the mat. Like that, okay? So what he just did by putting me down gently is totally legal. But if he were to slam me down on my back, it would be an instant DQ for him, okay? And another thing that you can't do is called reaping. So once you lay back, this happens from leg lock positions, okay? So if I have Joe in a leg lock, you might want to come on this side. So I have Joe in like a straight ankle lock where I'm going for a heel hook. I can have my feet like this. I can put my foot on his hip. I can put both feet on the outside this way. But what you're not allowed to do is to bring this outside leg across the body. And it's called reaping the knee. By turning his knee in this way, this is considered an illegal move. You'll get, it used to be instant DQ if you did this. Like if you went from here and just push this across, they disqualify you instantly. Now what they usually do is they'll stop you, put your foot here, and reset you. Okay, so basically you can cross your feet on the outside. You just, in general, most tournaments, you can't bring your foot across the hip like this. Unless it's a submission only tournament with special rules, then you can do whatever you want, okay? But the one that you're gonna be doing on Saturday, they go by the IBJJF, which is like the standard rule set. So basically, like if you go for an ankle lock, keep your feet on the outside or cross your feet on the outside like this. Don't bring your feet across. All right. So those are like the two main things that are illegal.
And why is that illegal?
They say that it puts too much pressure on the knee.
Yeah.
Which is kind of silly because you can twist the guy's knee from any other position except for that one.
So it's already pretty dangerous as it is.
Right, yeah, you're already twisting people's joints all over the place. So it's a silly old rule. I don't agree with it, but just be aware of it.
Okay.
And then, why don't you lay back? So, like you were asking about strangling somebody like this, you can use this to post on somebody's neck to keep distance. If he's trying to, like if you try to sit up, I can push on your neck. I'm just not allowed to actually squeeze and try to like finish you by crushing your windpipe.
Okay.
You're also not allowed to do what's called a muffler. usually covering the mouth with your hand. I'm not gonna do it to you. But you can't do that. You're not allowed to, you can't grab one finger or two fingers. If you grab the hand, you have to control all the fingers, but you can't grab like one. Okay, so even if you're like in the middle of choking me, I can't grab one finger and peel it off. I have to grab all and peel it off.
Could that make someone tap though, or no?
Usually not.
Okay.
It's rare that you're in a position of dominance and you'll grab somebody's finger and make them tap. But it's also a good thing to remember. If I want to control your hand and holding your wrist, you can move your arm all over the place. But if I control your hand like this by holding your fingers, you have a lot more control over it. You're almost always weaker at the end of your limb than you are like in the center.
Gotcha.
So it's a good thing to remember if you want to control somebody's hand to use like a 2-on-1 and control like the knuckles and the wrist. That makes it very hard for them to use their hand. But if I just hold like this, you can easily pull that away. Okay. But if I'm holding like this, it's much harder.
Yeah.
Okay. So don't grab fingers, no mufflers, no chokes like that. No reaping, no slamming. I think that's it for now. If I think of anything else, I'll let you know.
No eye gouging?
No eye gouging, no biting, no hair pulling, no punching, no kicking, no elbowing.
Okay.
It's just grappling, just jiu-jitsu for now.
Gotcha.
All right, so now we're gonna go over some simple tournament strategy and concepts for you to use, for you to think about for this weekend. All right?
Cool.
So like I said, it's always gonna start on the feet. So, yep, good stance. So whatever leg you have forward, you have that hand lower. And it doesn't have to be like this.
Yeah.
Okay? It can just be here. Okay? And what we call a down block is all you're gonna do, if you see somebody reach for that lead leg, you just extend the arm down like that. So you wanna get something in between me and you. So we're here, as I go to reach for the leg, just basically shoot this down under my arm. Yep, and I'll pull that leg back. Yep, so now the harder I try to reach for it, I'll never actually be able to get it. Even if I were to get my hands on it, let me grab it. If I were to get my hands on it, you just push the arm away and kick the leg back, you'll always be able to break that, okay? Simple thing to think about. And now that hand, so I'll do it to you. I have my lead leg down here, you go to grab it, I down block, and now this hand can attack. Okay, so I start off with my lead hand down, and now I can use this hand, because this leg's harder for you to get to, I can push with that hand, and I can use that to grab and start going.
All right, gotcha.
All right, so what I want you to focus on is, we're not gonna spend a lot of time doing wrestling. It takes a lot of time to develop like good takedowns. I think you wrestled before a little bit, right?
Yeah, in middle school.
Yeah, so all the wrestling you know you can use, but what I want you to focus on is getting front headlocks. All right. It's a simple way to do it, and the easiest thing to remember, anytime your head comes to my armpit level, I can get it, okay? If your head's here, I'll never be able to get a front headlock, but all I need to do is get you to bring your head forward a little bit, and then I can snag it.
Okay.
Okay? So, the way you get that to happen is going to be very hard to just grab somebody's head and pull it down. What you want to do is start off by pushing. So, lead hand down, I start to push. I start to push. Don't let me push you. Don't let me push you. So, see how let me push you and stop me from pushing. So see how to get me to stop from pushing, he has to push back into me. Right? And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take either hand to the back of the neck. I'm going to pull my leg back and bring the head down. All right? So I want you to start off lead hand down, make contact, good. Now start pushing me back. Now see how see, you didn't even need to snap me down.
Yeah.
Just by pushing me again. When my feet go back like this, my feet are behind my head, there's nothing holding me up. So even if you just took that hand away, my head comes down. Okay, so that's what I want you to think about. Hand on my shoulder, other hand on my shoulder. Always try to get inside of the arms, okay? So if I'm swimming inside, you swim inside. Yep. Keep the inside position. So now, push in a little bit. Once you see my feet come back and I'm pushing back, this hand's gonna go to my head, snap it down. Yep. Now you have the front headlock. Now all you're gonna do is circle your hips this way and sprawl your legs back. Get in your stance, make contact, push, my feet are back. Yep. Perfect.
It's gonna be my move. Maybe.
Perfect. Cool. Another way you can sort of set that up is to make the guy step back. So sometimes if I'm pushing, I don't imagine too many guys are going to be able to stop him from pushing them. But if you get against a guy that's somehow stronger than you, all right, what you want to do is use like a fake shot to get his leg back. All right. So why don't you put that leg forward? He's got that leg forward. What I'm going to do is I'm either gonna make contact with this hand and use my rear hand. You have to drop your level and reach, okay? If he lets you grab it, you take it. But if he pulls it back, his head is lower again, okay? So we tie up, I make contact. I'm gonna reach for that one, pull it back. Okay, so same thing. So I have this leg forward, just grab here. Now drop your level, squat, reach. Yep.
So just kind of going back and forth, right? Like
It's always gonna be, you always wanna create a reaction. Like I said, it's gonna be almost impossible to just grab somebody and pull them into anything. So you always create a push-pull. So the first one is we push first, and as soon as he pushes back, we pull. This one, our push is more a push at the leg, okay? So I push, you pull back, then I pull, okay? It's always a push-pull. So always try to create a reaction before you do the snap, all right? I would recommend that you focus on that first one we do. Yeah. Right? So push, push, my feet are back, snap, yep. Again, come in and push. So now, my leg stays forward, reach for it. So that's what I'm gonna recommend for your takedown, all right? So once you snap me down, so let's say I push in, you snap me down, now I want you to spin behind. Perfect. Now, once you get to here, you're gonna sag all your weight onto this side, pull me onto my side, put your hooks in. Good. Establish control by squeezing your knees. Good. From this position, the person's gonna be holding onto your wrist like this. Take this hand, peel my top hand down, bring this to my shoulder. Yep, now pull this hand out, lock up the rear naked choke.
it's that simple to tap out a black belt, just saying.
So we'll go front headlock again. So you snap me down to here, you spin behind. Seatbelt grip, sag your weight. Control this wrist. Good. So that would be like an ideal scenario. You snap down, spin behind, submit.
Okay.
Right? But what is gonna happen a lot of times is, let's say you snap me down, and then the person is able to, let go, pull you into their guard. So now he's gonna have to pass the guard. All right, so you've done pretty well at this. Yep, you have good posture. First thing is opening the guard. Yep, so create some distance. Yeah, press the leg down and slide the knee over. All right. The most basic way to think about this from here is first get chest to chest. All right, bring your head to this shoulder over here. Wrap this arm tight around my neck. Good. So you already have, see how he has his foot hooked on? Press this foot into the floor, pop, tripod your leg up, and then slide right to the side, not over here. Yep. 3 points. Okay, so that's if the person's able to pull you in the guard. Now we'll work, so we already have the submission from the back as a rear naked. Now we'll do the Kimura from the top, okay? We've done that before. So once you're in side mount, you're gonna make a switch, okay? So this arm is gonna come to the other side of my body. This arm's gonna come to the other side. Yep, stick your thumb under my elbow here. Yep, walk around my head. Turn me up onto my side, this way. Good, now grab this with this hand. Grab your armrest. Yep. Now what I want you to do is use this leg and cover my head. Put it over my head, put your knee down. Knee down. Yeah, like that. Now pull my hand up, put it behind my back. Good. Again. So make that switch with your arms. Lock the hip. Good. Walk around. Remember, so yeah, cover my head with your knee. Very good. Right. And if that doesn't work, I don't know what else to tell you.
Go crazy.
Yeah.
Go
Then
crazy.
slam 'em.
Yeah.
Both of them in the eyes.
Yeah. If that one doesn't work, yeah, I pull out my knife.
So I mean, that's like your basic, your best case scenario. Like that's, you know, everything goes well, that's what happens.
Yeah.
You snap down, spin behind, choke him. He pulls you in his guard, you pass. But, you know, you might get a takedown, and the rest of the match you're trying to pass the guy's guard.
Yep.
You're still up on 2 points. So don't be too concerned with I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. It's just the matches are so dynamic and fluid that anything can change at any time. He might come out and blast double leg you across the mat, and you might end up on your back right away. Okay, so I'll give you a simple way to sort of get off your back.
Okay.
All right. So let's say I take you down, right? I'm gonna step over, move to half guard. So it's tough to get up from this full guard position, like if you lock your legs. So especially no-gi, it's hard for a beginner that doesn't have many attacks from here to use this position. This is good for the guy on top because I can basically just like keep you down on your back from here. If the guy goes to pass, what I would do for you is I would turn on this side, open your legs up, and let the guy go to half guard. Because you're pretty good from this position. Make sure you hook that bottom leg. So this is called half guard. And what you always want to do from here is get an underhook on me. Right. So now from here, all you're gonna do is you're gonna rock to your back and throw your arm up over your head. Try to get me to post my hands above your head. So rock to your back, post your hands up like that. Now snag the leg, come up, and take me down. Just knee tap. Yep. And now you're just run to the side. So when you get here, run to the side, and you're back in that same position to go for the Kimura. Underhook. And I go to the Kimura. Lock.
Whew, just like that.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
So like I said, that should be sort of your basic game plan for when you go out there, but be prepared for anything to happen, you know?
Yeah.
Like I said, you might be on the feet the whole 5 minutes trying to get the takedown, you know? I don't think you will, but.
Gotcha. And then in terms of like, you know, practice versus reality, we were kind of talking about you get an adrenaline dump, like all that kind of stuff. So what can someone expect the day of the competition and how to get through it?
A couple things I tell people to always bring. Bring your own toilet paper, because these places run out of toilet paper really quick. Everybody's got nervous bowels. Yeah. So the bathrooms get destroyed. Toilet paper, food, whatever you like to eat a day of competition. I'm sure you have like some stuff that you normally do. Water, whatever music you like, and just try to stay relaxed. The hardest part about these days is you could spend 6 hours just sitting around waiting, you know, and not knowing when you're going to go. So that's the toughest part, is the waiting. Once you get out there, the toughest part about once you're out there is staying relaxed. Okay, especially your first time. People rarely remember what happens their first time. You know, you usually have to like break it down for them afterwards. Like, this is what happened. You know? So no matter how good a shape you're in physically, it's really, like I was saying the other day, it's your mind that's gonna like determine whether you get super exhausted or if you're able to just focus on executing your techniques. So try to, as much as you can, try not to think about fighting and winning. Try to think about just executing moves. You know, just executing the game plan. Focus on that rather than like fighting the guy in front of you. Like, the guy in front of you doesn't matter. It's like, it's a grappling dummy that you're using. You know, so that's basically how you want to think and approach the match. Just focus on executing your game plan, not thinking, what's he gonna do? What am I gonna do? Stuff like that.
Sweet. There you guys have it. That's the game plan for a couple days out for my first competition. He'll be there coaching me. We'll video it. So hopefully what we just practiced will happen, or it's just going to be a shit show. Either way, it's first time.
Either way, it's a learning experience.
Exactly.
Like, you go out there, get smashed your first time. You learn. You know?
Exactly. Yep.
So
part of the process.
Don't be obsessed with winning or losing, especially not your first time out there. It's great if you win. But I mean, you'll see. Either way, whether you win or you lose, the next day, you still gotta go back to work. It's the same. Bullshit.
I say about strongman, I was like, you can't take it too seriously if you're thrown down in a parking lot. Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like, we all love it, but it's, you know, there's more to come and always something to learn from. But yeah, thanks, Coach Tim. I appreciate it. Where can we follow you again on social media?
Hellfish Mixed Martial Arts on YouTube. Hellfish MMA on Instagram. Hellfish BJJ on Instagram. Tim Carpenter on Facebook. I don't even know if I think that's just a personal page. I don't know if it's a business thing.
It's growing. It's him.
I'm new to the whole internet world.
And if you guys had heard this creature in the background the whole time, there lies the devil dog.
Wow, come here.
Let's see if we can get him.
Come here, buddy.
He's looking into my soul. You can,
He's
oh,
a little bit
trustworthy. This is El Guapo, the real jiu-jitsu master. There you go. Perfect. Any fun facts about El Guapo?
He's 9 years old. He stinks. He's lazy.
What kind of dog is that?
He's a Renaissance bulldog.
Renaissance.
Basically, I tell me he's just an old English bulldog. But
Okay. It looks cooler than one. Can you go on a skateboard?
nah, he can't really do anything.
Was it focusing on him? Oh, yeah. Come here, Bubba.
That's what he can do. He can slobber on stuff.
Hello. You're adorable. Awesome.